Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the secret journey of a pill. We're going to find out about the incredible science that kicks off the very moment you take your medicine.
I mean, think about it. You swallow a little tablet with a glass of water, and then what? It feels so simple, right? But what you've actually done is launch a highly sophisticated, precisely engineered mission inside your own body. So come on, let's follow that pill and see exactly where it goes.
First things first, we've got to stop thinking of a pill as just, well, a pill. It's so much more than that. You should really think of it as a drugs delivery system, a tiny, high-tech vehicle designed to get its valuable cargo exactly where it needs to go. And believe me, how well this little vehicle performs is the difference between mission success and mission failure.
So the very first step is what we call drug product performance. All that really means is this. Does the active ingredient get out of the pill successfully? Whether it's a tablet or a capsule or even a cream, its number one job is to open up at just the right moment and release the drug.
Now, the science behind designing this vehicle, it's called biopharmaceutics. You can think of it as the engineering team. They look at the drug's chemistry, the pill's physical design, and even how you take it, all to control how fast and how much of that drug gets into your system. It's all about setting the mission up for success from the very beginning. Okay, so here it is. This is the basic roadmap for our pill's journey. First, the drug is released. Then it gets absorbed into your system. From there, it's distributed all over the body. And at the same time, your body is already working on elimination. This is the fundamental path that pretty much every drug follows.
All right, let's talk about the next stage, absorption. Once that drug is released, its main goal is to get onto the body's superhighway, the bloodstream. And this is the point where your body really starts to take the wheel.
Now, this slide is super important because it clears up two terms that are really easy to mix up. So, pharmacokinetics, that's all about what your body does to the drug, how it moves it around, breaks it down, and gets rid of it. Pharmacodynamics is the exact opposite. It's what the drug does to your body, the actual effect that you feel. Let's start with kinetics. So, pharmacokinetics basically maps the drug's entire life cycle in the body, and there's a handy acronym for it, ADME. A is for absorption, getting it into the blood. D is for distribution, sending it all over. M is for metabolism, when your body starts breaking it down. And E is for excretion, when it's finally removed. That's the body's playbook for handling pretty much any foreign substance. So once that drug merges onto the bloodstream highway, it's a busy place. It's being distributed to its final destination, sure, but at the exact same time, the body's cleanup crew is already on the job, trying to eliminate it. This whole process is called drug disposition, and it really happens in two main phases at the same time. Step one is distribution. The drug takes an exit off that bloodstream highway and travels into your body's tissues. And step two is elimination, where your body's filters, we're talking mainly the liver and kidneys, start breaking down and kicking out the drug. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. This is when the drug finally reaches its target and actually starts doing its job. This is where we shift from pharmacokinetics to pharmacodynamics, from what the body does to the drug to what the drug does to the body. So after that long trip through the body, the drug molecules find what they've been looking for, these specific little docking stations on our cells called receptors. It's kind of like a key sliding into a lock. And that interaction, that's what triggers the chemical reaction we feel as the medicine's effect. But here's the catch. It is a super delicate balancing act. The amount of drug in your system, what we call its concentration, is absolutely critical. If it's too low, nothing happens. If it's too high, it could actually be harmful. The goal is to stay right in that just right Goldilocks zone. And of course, scientists have a name for that sweet spot. They call it the therapeutic window. It's that perfect range where the concentration is above the minimum you need for it to work, that's the MEC, but still safely below the level where it might become toxic, the MTC. So the whole reason for drug design, for dosage instructions, take one pill every 8 hours. All of it is designed for one single purpose, to keep the amount of that drug in your body squarely inside that therapeutic window. Effective, but most importantly, safe. So how does all of this incredibly complicated science go from a lab bench to the bottle sitting in your medicine cabinet? Well, it gets translated into the simple instructions that you and I follow every day. This is where the field of clinical pharmacokinetics comes into play. It's all about taking that deep knowledge of ADME and therapeutic windows and applying it to actual patients.
It lets doctors create dosing plans that are optimized not just for the general public, but hopefully for you as an individual.
And here's the final result. Look at this. This drug label might just look like a wall of tiny text, but it is a perfect example of all this science in action. Every single part of it, from how much to take to what side effects to look for, is a direct result of decades of careful pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic research.
Okay, but to make these kinds of super precise predictions, scientists don't just guess, they build models. And really, a model is just a hypothesis that uses math. It's a set of equations that's built to act like the human body, so it can predict how a drug is going to behave. And these models can be pretty simple, like this one compartment or tank idea you see here, which basically treats the whole body like one big container of fluid. Or they can get way more complex, with different compartments that represent blood, organs, fat, and more. Each model is basically a simplified map of our ridiculously complex biology. The best way to think about these models is as a kind of biological GPS. They help scientists predict drug levels over time, they help them calculate the perfect dose to keep you in that therapeutic window, and they can even forecast how something like kidney disease might change a drug's journey, meaning your dose might need to be adjusted. So all of this incredible science helps create medicines that are safe and effective for the so-called average patient. But let's be real, none of us are truly average, are we? And that leaves us with a really exciting question for the future. How are we going to use all this knowledge to create medicine that is perfectly tailored, not just for a population, but for you,